Welcome to the Vegan Squad Health and Fitness Summit. I am John Thomas, aka the Bodybuilding Vegan, and I am so glad you are here. We have so much information, knowledge, experience to share with you, and I'm so excited for all that you're about to get to learn. Make sure you guys stay until the end of the videos. There is a huge special going on. If you haven't already taken part in it, it will be in the description box down below. And I'm also going to include the link to the VIP tickets that you've already purchased in case you want to send it to a friend. If you need anything else, reach out to me or any of your Vegan Squad coaches. We're here to support you on your journey to becoming the best you can be with your health and fitness. We'll see you inside.
So we'll get into a bit of a deeper meditation later, but I do think it's important to start off with some grounding because we're all coming at different times of the day. Some of us might have had a rest day. Some of us might have been busy, a lot of social interaction. So wherever you are, I just invite you to be here now. Just settle into your space. You can keep your eyes open for this practice. This is a somatic exercise called orienting. It's simply observing our surroundings. This is a great way to signal safety to our nervous system, to come more into the present moment, which I believe is super important before something so vulnerable like this, or even diving deeper into meditation. So I invite you to just have your gaze forward and begin to observe the room in front of you. And while you're doing this, you can let your eyes land on any objects they want to land on, or your eyes can wander around to different points. And while you're doing this, just making it a point to stay connected to your breath, letting yourself breathe in nice and deeply, and exhaling, coming more into this moment. And next, we're going to shift our gaze to the left-hand side of the room. Again, just letting your eyes wander or be still as they'd like. And this may feel awkward if this is new to you, that's okay. There's no right or wrong, we're just observing here. And then we're going to shift our gaze to the right-hand side. And if you're in a space you're familiar with, like your room or a room in your house, you might have seen this space many times before. But just reminding yourself that there's never been this exact day, at this exact time, with the light hitting in this certain way. So just noticing any light or shadows, any textures or colors. Next, we're going to shift our gaze behind us. This is a really great way to signal safety to our nervous systems. Just taking in the room around you, noticing what is or isn't there. And when you're ready, you can let your gaze return to the front of your room, letting your eyes wander or land back on me. And anytime we do a somatic exercise like this, we just want to take a moment to rest and notice, observe how we're feeling, if there's any change in our system. Maybe we're breathing a little bit deeper. Maybe our shoulders have relaxed a bit. And again, if this is new to you and it's hard to discern any differences, that's okay too. We're building that muscle, that capacity to be in the present moment. So great job. Thank you guys for orienting with me. This is a simple practice we can return to anytime we need a bit more grounding. So to kick us off, and why I like to start with grounding, is when I heard this statistic, it blew my mind. And anyone who's worked with me has probably heard this before. 80% of information goes from our bodies to our brains, not the other way around. So I'll repeat that one more time. 80% of information goes from our body. So what we're feeling and experiencing is signaling to our brains whether we're safe, whether we're experiencing real or perceived threat. So this is why when we're feeling activated, we can't talk ourselves out of it. And I know positive affirmations are big in the personal development space, and they absolutely have their place, especially when we're already in a subconscious state. They can be super powerful to shift our stories, to plant seeds of new beliefs. More empowering affirmations absolutely have their place. But when we are in a state of activation, feeling stronger emotions, maybe we're feeling anxious, or conversely, we're feeling very low energy in a state of disconnection, talking ourselves out of it is not the way to go. It's essentially bypassing how we're feeling, because our thoughts are the symptoms, not the cause. So this is why we can't talk ourselves out of activation, because what we think arises from our body state. That's the takeaway here. So if we can shift our state, we let our brains know that we're not in danger. This is why it's important to work at that somatic level, to not override our nervous system, to start slow, get used to being in the present, like this orienting exercise, like the check-in we did, just observing how our body, our mind, and emotions are doing. And so how we can shift out of those activation state is working at the body level, since that's where 80% of the information is going to our brain from. So we do this through somatic exercises, through showing our body that it's safe to be in the present moment, to release any emotional or physical weight that we've been carrying. So this is, again, why I believe so strongly in taking a somatic approach with clients, because we work with your state first. So through the breath, through movement or stillness, through tapping, different journaling exercises. This is a big one. This incorporates both the body and the mind. So we're going to do some interactive journaling here tonight. And connection. So feeling connected not only to ourselves, to all parts of us, but to each other. So that's why being on this call tonight together is really special. It's reminding ourselves we're not alone in what we're going through, and it's a chance to co-regulate, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So I want to start off by talking about self-regulation. So this is any experience that we're going through by ourselves. So it's me alone changing my nervous system state and coming more into regulation. So pretty self-explanatory, self-regulation. These are exercises we can do by ourselves to support us. So this could be meditation, breath work, yoga, exercise, listening to music, taking a bath, being in nature. And again, this is you doing something by yourself to come more into regulation. So I'd like you guys to share with me in the chat one self-regulation experience that feels most supportive for you. And the cool thing about self-regulation is that what's regulating for me might not be regulating for you, and vice versa. Or even some days for the same person, that activity might not always be what's needed or best to support us. So it's really cool once we get used to understanding the language of our nervous system, checking in with our needs, and seeing how we can best support ourselves. But I'd love to know, what's one thing that tends to support you to self-regulate. For me, this is definitely breath work. It's something I come back to no matter how activated I feel, or even if I'm already feeling good. It never hurts to take a nice deep breath, right? So while you're sharing with me, let's all take a nice deep breath together. Just sigh it out, continuing to breathe at your own pace. I see some more responses for breath work. Good. Journaling, drawing, beautiful. Love it. Yeah, these are all good practices to have. Being in nature is a very supportive one too. Thank you for sharing. So as you guys are sharing these responses, I want to talk a bit about co-regulation. So this is an experience with another. So this is two nervous systems supporting each other to come closer to or stay in regulation. So the practices themselves can have some overlap of things we do when we're self-regulating. The difference is that we're attuning to and feeling safe in connection with other people, with animals, with nature. This can even be with characters. So if there's a movie or show with a character that you really resonate with, that makes you feel just nurtured and safe and cozy, that's beautiful. So I see more responses coming in ways you guys like to self-regulate. So movement without pressure, hiking, walking, painting, more breathing, more breath work, beautiful, getting outside, music, weight training, energy work, being by myself, walking, meditating, music. Love this. Thank you guys. So now I'd love for you to share one co-regulation experience that feels most supportive for you. So again, this is two nervous systems supporting each other. This could be with another person, a character, a pet. Something that's always co-regulating for me is cuddling or petting my dog. Animals just have their special way of helping us feel calm and seen and regulated. So I'm grateful to have my dog, and I'm sure he's grateful to have me too. It's nice to support each other in that way. Yeah, I'm seeing Alexis say hugging whatever dog is around. Can never go wrong with that. Yes, I love that. Yeah, hug all the dogs. Beautiful. Brianna says being with my family, holding my two children. That's a really powerful one. I love that. So while these responses are coming in, I'm going to talk about why we're even talking about this. Why is this important in a health and fitness summit and as vegans? So as vegans specifically, it's so normal to feel the heavy emotions and the burden and the heartbreak by all that animals go through, right? We're such a small percentage of the world's population. It's easy to feel hopeless or like people just aren't getting it. Why aren't people making the connection? And on a smaller scale in our own personal lives, maybe we're the only plant-based or vegan person we know, or a lot of the vegans we know are only virtually. So when we have, especially this time of the year, holiday gatherings or food-centric events, it can feel very heavy and triggering and upsetting to be alone, or at least perceive that we're alone. So that's why having these practices to be able to regulate ourselves and remind ourselves that we're safe, being able to co-regulate like in spaces like this with people who do get it is also so important. So yeah, I'm sure most of us here have experienced those moments of backlash from people or people just not getting it. And it's so normal to be super upset by that and to not know what to do. So that's what this is all about, just reminding and showing ourselves that we can come into regulation. We do have the power and the capacity to support ourselves. And if that doesn't feel true yet, that's okay. That's what we're doing, like I said, is building that muscle, being able to show, not tell ourselves, again, body to brain, that we are safe, we are capable of doing this work. So again, as people with fitness and health, physique goals specifically, this is all super important because we need to balance out all of that doing, the going to the gym however many times a week, tracking the macros, grocery shopping, meal prepping, hitting all the steps. That's all great and important, but we need to balance that all out with the just being, the taking the time to just be in the present and observe, what am I feeling? What am I experiencing? Being able to take that 2 to 3 minutes to just orient to our space and let ourselves breathe and really see the world around us, especially with all that's going on in the world and all the new social medias and trends and everything. It's really easy and tempting to want to stay connected and plugged in 24/7, but it's really important to take a break sometimes from that. So something else I want to mention too with nervous system regulation that's usually misunderstood is that it's not all about feeling peace and joy and connection and being regulated all the time, right? That's not realistic. So what we're doing is, as I mentioned, increasing our capacity to feel more of those things more often and to know how to best support ourselves when we are feeling overwhelmed or anxious or sad or shut down or inevitably triggered in those situations, like around the holiday times I mentioned. So yeah, and as goal-oriented people, again, we can have the perfect plan, but if we're not taking the time to tend to our nervous system and our physical body in the sense of a somatic standpoint, then we can only get so far. And then once we're addressing the physical tension, the burdens that we're carrying, we can dive deeper and look at our emotions and the stories we're telling ourselves and the beliefs that those are creating. And we can then work at a subconscious level, which is super powerful for stepping into the versions of ourselves we want to be, that version of ourselves who has that dream physique or is doing these things in the gym or setting these goals personally or with your career or with your fitness. So the stories we tell ourselves matter, the ways we tend to our bodies matter, and it all starts with moments like this, just getting curious what we're feeling and how we can take good care of ourselves. So before we dive into some interactive journaling, I want to do one more grounding exercise together, just as a little midpoint grounding. So this one is called tapping. It's another super simple one that only takes a couple of minutes. So this one, we're tapping on specific meridian points of the body that help us come into energetic harmony. So it sounds kind of woo if you're not familiar with it. There is some overlap between the physical body and also the energetic standpoint. So it's just a way, again, to like orienting to show our systems that we're safe rather than just repeating an affirmation, I am safe. So let's try this together with an open mind. We're going to start by tapping the outside of our hand here, just next to the pinky. And with somatic tapping, we're just tapping on these points with no agenda, just noticing the sensation, how this feels on this spot. And our next tapping point is between our pinky and our ring finger. So just tapping here gently, noticing how this feels. And next we're going to take both hands and tap on our temples or near our temples. It doesn't have to be perfect. Just remembering to take nice deep breaths, staying connected to the breath as we tap. And we're going to move down to our cheekbones. Just noticing how this spot feels compared to the last one. And next we're going to take one pointer finger and tap just above our upper lip. Noticing the sensations here. This one makes my nose tickle. And then we're going to tap on our chin. You guys are doing great. Next, we're going to take both hands and tap on our collarbones. Noticing how this feels both on your collarbones and internally. You can feel the vibration like tapping on a drum. And now we're going to tap on our ribs. Again, doesn't have to be perfect. Feeling your ribs expand as you breathe. And now just resting. That was one round of tapping. You guys did great. And as I mentioned earlier, with any somatic exercise, we just want to take a moment to rest afterwards and notice, observe how our bodies are feeling, if anything has shifted, if we're breathing a little bit deeper. It's normal to yawn when we do somatic exercises. That's a good sign that we're coming into regulation. So no judgment if you're all yawning here. Cool. And if you guys are upgrading to VIP, I have an emotional freedom tapping exercise, which is super powerful. It combines somatic tapping, so tapping on these physical points, but it's also a way to move through heavy emotions like sadness. So that's a really good one. I'm excited to share that with some of you who are VIPs. Cool. So now we're going to move on to our interactive journaling before we get into the meditation. This is a chance for you to check in with yourself, start planting those subconscious seeds for what you want to explore or release tonight. So I'm going to paste these questions in the chat. These are fill-in-the-blank journaling prompts. So I created these for our Vegan Squad school community. It's a document with 65 fill-in-the-blank journaling prompts. So we're going to do 3 of them together tonight to check in with ourselves. So the first one, my heart feels heavy about. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the call, this is your space to be honest about what you're feeling, what you've been carrying. And these responses can just be a few words or one sentence, just whatever's coming up first. Don't overthink it. This could be a behavior, a pattern, a belief. We want to surface the emotional burdens you've been carrying without shame. We want to normalize what we're feeling from all ends of the spectrum, positive, negative. So what's feeling heavy for you guys lately? Alex said, my heart feels heavy about a breakup. I'm right there with you. Maya said, my heart feels heavy about being away from family during the holidays. Yes, that is very normal this time of year. Thank you for sharing. I'm seeing more responses come in. Love and family. Feeling heavy about needing rest, but feeling guilty for it. That is a very common one. Yeah. The good news is by showing up and being here tonight, you're creating evidence that you can slow down and nothing bad will happen. That's the beauty of taking these moments to check in. We realize not only how important and powerful it is, but that it can also be simple and doesn't have to take a lot of time out of our day. It can be those simple few minutes of orienting or breathing or tapping or whatever else feels good. You guys had a lot of good examples with the self-regulation and co-regulation. I'm seeing more responses come through. My heart feels heavy about not wanting to do anything. Thank you for sharing, Ashley. That makes a lot of sense. When we spend too much time in a stressed out state, the fight or flight sympathetic nervous system state, a lot of times, if we're not doing the things to support ourselves at no fault to us or to you, what our nervous system does to protect us is it actually shuts down to conserve energy. So in that state, it's so normal to not want to do anything because your body is quite literally just trying to keep you alive. So give yourself some grace and know that you won't always be in that state. That's something important I have to remind myself when I'm there, because I know how heavy that being in that state can feel, and it's easy to convince ourselves of stories like I won't come out of this or I'm going to be stuck here forever. So again, we're working at the body level to show ourselves that we can tolerate even small moments of connection and regulation. So I'm proud of you for being here and doing just that. My heart feels heavy about potentially having to sever a long-standing friendship due to their lack of respect and toxicness of that relationship. I'm proud of you for recognizing that, Dustin, and for doing what you need to do to protect yourself. That's not an easy position to be in by any means. My heart feels heavy about growing my finances to give myself and my family a better life. Yeah, thank you for sharing this, Brianna. Even when it's something seemingly good or something that we really want, it's normal to grieve the actual process of doing the things to get there. It's literally shedding an old identity and stepping into a new one. So there's a lot of heaviness that comes with that. So thank you for sharing and normalizing that. My heart feels heavy about loss in general and feeling useless. Yeah, you guys are all connecting with each other here, normalizing the letting go and protecting our peace and showing ourselves love. So thank you guys for sharing and being open. I know, again, these things aren't always easy to talk about, but that's why we create these spaces, so we remember that we're not alone and the things we're feeling aren't bad or weird or abnormal, and reminding ourselves that anyone in our situation would feel the way they do. So I'm going to share the next prompt. When challenges arise, I remind myself. So this is a good one for beginning to shift the state that we're in and setting a subconscious target for what we can work on to kind of move through those heavy emotional burdens. Again, this can just be a short sentence, a phrase, a couple words, something to remind yourself when challenges arise. For me, this is one I just shared a couple of times earlier. It's reminding myself it won't always feel this heavy. That's been so crucial for me in those challenging moments. I'm seeing some responses come in. When challenges arise, I remind myself there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Yes. You're never given more than you can handle. I try and take on too much. Yeah, it's easy to want to do more and achieve more. A lot of us here are goal-oriented people. But it's important to do that in a way where we're not overriding our capacity and we're making these changes at a sustainable level. When challenges arise, I remind myself I'm worthy and deserving of love, and it starts with giving it to myself. Yes. Thank you, Alexis. That's a beautiful and powerful one. We are all worthy and deserving of love, and a lot of times the world doesn't give that to us. Like going back to what we were talking about earlier, being vegan, we literally just want to spread compassion and love, and it can be painful and build resentment when people aren't seeing it. So it makes sense to build up that resentment, that sadness, that heartbreak. But in the midst of that, it's so important to show ourselves the same love and compassion that we so easily show and give to others. When challenges arise, I remind myself I have overcome dark days and challenges already. That is a really great one, Maya, and something I recommend to everyone is we've created so much evidence in the past of ways that we've supported ourselves, of hard times we've gotten through, of things that have done that have worked for us. And even if you're struggling to think of things now, start creating a list going forward of something you did that helped you feel better, or an accomplishment you achieved, no matter how small it is, and literally creating evidence for yourself of your capability to move through these hard things. So I love this. When challenges arise, I remind myself that I can get past it. I always do. Yes, 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 yes. I remind myself this is where growth happens. Yes, that's another great point. We literally build resilience in these tough seasons. I remind myself there is no obstacle too big to not overcome, and that it starts with me and how I react and respond. I recognize that it starts and ends with me. Yes, Dustin, taking personal responsibility is a big one here. And I'm worthy. Yes, love that add-on. When challenges arise, I remind myself that challenges are usually lessons to learn from and to grow and evolve. Overcoming challenges makes us stronger and more resilient. Absolutely. Thank you, Samira. Susanna has a great one too. I remind myself I'm not alone. Yes, it's so easy to slip into thinking that no one understands or no one else has gone through something like this. But in me being vulnerable with people, I've realized that they can resonate and support me. And same with others opening up to me. I realize I have gone through things and I've gained lessons and wisdom that I can share to support them. So that's what we're doing tonight, guys. Just sharing that we're not alone, that things will get better, that we're going through challenges that are making us more resilient, and we are worthy of feeling good on the other side of them. I'm really proud of you all. All right, one more before we get into our meditation. I feel most at peace when. So you could describe a behavior, a way of being, an identity, a practice, a connection, just starting to anchor in the associated positive emotions of when you feel your best. Alexa says, I feel most at peace when I'm skating by the beach. I love that. It's combining movement and fresh air, so that's a really, really good one. And cuddling my God-fur child. Aw. Yeah, that co-regulation with animals really, really does help. Dustin feels most at peace when he's going on walks by the sea or spending time with his cat. Lovely. Susanna feels most at peace when she works out and when she rides her scooter. Ooh, so 2 forms of movement here. That's a really good one. Yeah, a lot of times when we're stuck or feeling stagnant emotionally or energetically, just moving our bodies helps to shift the energy. Because again, our state creates our story and not the other way around. So we're showing our bodies that we can feel better instead of just telling ourselves, feel better. What's wrong with you? Why are you so upset? Well, and just spiraling, getting down on ourselves, being hard on ourselves just makes it worse. Kayla said, when I'm alone walking in the forest. Ooh, I love that. That sounds really peaceful. Maya feels most at peace when she's creating art and music and spending time in the sun. Ooh, I love those. Yeah, creating's a good one too. Again, moving energy in a different way. Ashley feels most at peace when she's eating. Not sure if that's a good habit. Hey, we all gotta eat to stay alive, so I'm down with that. Samara feels most at peace when she's lifting weights or spending time with her fur babies. Beautiful. Heidi, when all is good with my family. Yes, and working out. Alex, when in nature, hiking, exercising, or playing video games. Love it. You guys are doing a great job reflecting, taking the time to not only check in with your emotions, but really remind yourselves of how you shift out of those and start to anchor into what does make you feel good. So I'll give us a minute or two if you guys have any questions about anything we talked about. Otherwise, we can start getting comfy and cozy for our meditation portion. Wolf said he feels most at peace when he closes his eyes and feels the vibrations of music ripple through his body. I really like that one. All right, if there are no questions, then let's move into meditation. I'm going to plug in my headphones. There's a mic on these just so you guys can hear me a little better. And if you have headphones that you'd like to put on or plug in so you can really immerse yourself, now's the time. All right. So you can do this if you're sitting or lying down. If you are driving or operating heavy machinery, please do not listen. You can upgrade to VIP for the recording, or in our Vegan Squad school community, I have lots of guided meditations. But let's dive in. Just beginning to reconnect with your breath here. Breathing in gently and exhaling deeply. Letting all parts of you just be. Letting your body show up exactly as it is, exactly as it's feeling. Letting any emotions you've been carrying be here too, with no judgment or shame. Letting any thoughts or stories you've been thinking about or that have been echoing subconsciously just be here too. A lot of times with meditation, we wrongly believe that the goal is to quiet the mind. The goal is to simply observe what is here, what we are feeling, what we are experiencing, without trying to push or shun that away. And if you haven't already, you can close down your eyes if that feels supportive. Letting yourself begin to drop into your inner world. And let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose and exhaling through the mouth. Breathe in through the nose, exhaling it all out. Breathe in, breathe out. Continuing to breathe in your own rhythm. Feeling your belly expand as you breathe in all this fresh air. And feeling it fall as you breathe out any stagnant energy. And just being here and breathing, or signaling to our system that it's safe to slow down, that there's nothing else you need to be doing right now, that this is your time to just be. So just checking in with yourself, seeing what it feels like to be you right now. Starting with your physical body, noticing if there's any area that feels tense or sore or achy. Any part of your body that could use extra support, extra groundedness, extra peace and calm. I want you to imagine on your next inhale, breathing into this space or just into your heart space, and exhaling any tension you've been carrying here. And now see if you can shift your focus to a part of your body that feels at peace, a part of your body that feels lighter or heavier. And seeing if you can anchor into this body part to notice what it feels like to have no physical or energetic resistance here. And imagine the calm, at ease of this part of you, just moving gently like a wave all throughout the rest of your body, letting this stillness wash over you. And letting yourself relax inside and out. Feeling supported by the surface beneath you, whether that's a chair, a bed, or the ground. Just allowing yourself to let go and feel held by the surface. Noticing how good it feels to surrender to this support. Now shifting our attention to our mind, noticing if it's loud or quiet. A lot of thoughts are here, or if there's not many at all. And again, not judging ourselves either way. Just thanking our mind for all that it does to support us on our journey. Breathing in gratitude for your mind, remembering that you're on the same team. Your mind just wants to support you and keep you safe. Just sending a gentle invitation to your mind to surrender, to let go, to feel held and supported by your body and your breath. Allowing yourself to come fully into the present, feeling how good it feels to just be and to just breathe. And now shifting your attention to your emotional being, that part of you that feels the full range of emotions, the heavier ones and the more joyful ones. And just letting yourself connect to whatever emotion you've been carrying, whatever your heart has felt heavy about. Just letting this emotion be present, acknowledging it, feeling it, and reminding yourself of how supported you are, both physically and energetically. Reminding yourself of any reminders you need to hear if challenging emotions arise. Reminding yourself of your strength and your resilience and your capacity to feel these heavy emotions also indicates your capacity to feel connection and joy and peace. Just sending some love and gratitude to your heart, for feeling the depth of emotions that you feel. Your emotions and your heart are signals about how much you deeply care. And that's such a beautiful thing. Just letting yourself be here with your heart, with all parts of you that want to send you love and support as you navigate through the difficult seasons, the lows, and any challenges you've been facing. Just reminding yourself of how supported you are, both by your own body and all that it does for you, and by this community of people who want to see you succeed, who want to cheer you on as you grow, as you reach your goals. And just planting the seed that you can feel all of the things you feel and still reach your goals. There's no emotions you need to shun away. There's nothing you need to suppress. That it's safe to feel what you're feeling. And just letting this moment be a reminder, telling yourself, I've got me. And not just telling yourself that, but really feeling it in your body. Really thanking yourself for taking this moment to be here, to slow down, to not override what our bodies or minds have been trying to tell us. To remember how important it is to balance out the doing with just being. And now just inviting more peace into your body, more peace into your mind, more peace into your heart. You can imagine in your mind's eye doing what feels most supportive and peaceful for you, whether that's being in nature, pedaling a pet, connecting with family. Just imagine yourself soaking in all the good feelings of these moments. Letting yourself breathe in that peace and exhale any heaviness. Just reminding yourself that you can connect to this peace anytime you want or need. That with your own intention and power of thought, you can feel more at ease. Not just by telling yourself to override what you're feeling, but by showing yourself that you are capable of coming more into regulation just by taking the time to slow down. I want you to imagine now just breathing in this peace, imagining it like a golden light filling your body from head to toe, noticing how safe and supportive this golden light feels, and remembering your strength and resilience. As you begin to turn your attention to your body and the space around you, taking with you any peaceful feelings, energies, and reminders you need for the rest of your day or evening. And when you're ready, you can slowly begin to open your eyes, taking your time. There's no rush, moving at your own pace, honoring your nervous system, stretching it out if that feels good, yawning it out if that feels good. And as you guys are returning, I'm going to drop a question into the chat. It's the same question we started with. So I want you to share 3 numbers. Let me know how you're feeling physically, mentally, emotionally. I'm just noticing if there are any shifts from when we began. With no judgment if 1 number has shifted, 2 or 3 numbers have shifted, or even if no numbers have shifted. It's all okay. There's no right or wrong. Like we talked about before, we're just building that self-awareness muscle, getting used to observing our bodies, our minds, our emotions. So just thank yourself for taking this time to check in. Let yourself feel your feelings. Let your body speak its needs and be heard. I'm seeing some responses and numbers come in. You guys are doing awesome. Thank you for being here and for practicing with me. I feel lighter. I feel sleepy. Definitely feel a shift. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Just as a reminder, this is our last call for tonight, but we do have a full day tomorrow. We have lots of great calls, topics related to health and fitness. I'll be leading another masterclass in meditation tomorrow afternoon. So another opportunity to check in with ourselves and align our habits and our identity with the person we're becoming, all while we honor our nervous system and our capacity. We can reach our goals, we can be high achievers without overriding our need to slow down and take care of ourselves. So that's what the work I do is all about. That's what I support clients with. So thank you guys for being here.
Did any other coaches want to hop on and share anything? Samara?
Yeah. Hey, Melissa, thank you so much for that. That was beautiful. I love your sessions. We always need your sessions. They're definitely well needed here. So thank you so much. What a great way to end the evening and our day, our first day of the summit, full day. Like Melissa said, we have another full day tomorrow. So I hope you're all ready to join us for that. I wanted to hop on and let you guys know that as the last call of the day, we're opening up 5 more spots for a free month of one-to-one coaching. I'm going to have Alexis drop the form into the chat here, and whoever fills it out, the first 5 people will be getting a call from one of the coaches to have a free month of one-to-one coaching. Let's start your new year off on the right foot. So excited to work with you guys. And thank you for coming to the call. Kayla, if you already applied and you got reached out to, I think that that disqualifies if you've already applied and we've already talked to you. So no need to apply again if you've already done it. Oh, Kayla, we will have someone reach out to you then ASAP. Yeah. Awesome. But if you haven't applied already for the month of free coaching, definitely fill out the form. Alexis, can you drop the form? I thought we had dropped it already, but let me.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just getting the link.
No worries. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I don't have it with me right now, but yeah, we're dropping the form. So first 5 people to fill out will get a call from a coach, and we're so excited to help you guys transform your life. If you really liked Melissa's session tonight, this is what she does as a coach. Thank you, Maya. Maya dropped the form in the comments, guys. So hurry down and get your form. We will reach out to you with a call, so keep your phone on you within the next, 10 to 15 minutes. Awesome. Love having you guys here. Thank you, everyone who joined. You want another one of Melissa's sessions? I believe she's doing another one tomorrow. And most of us coaches are going to be doing another tomorrow, another summit talk. Different topics, though. Excited for that. Awesome. Thank you, Quentin. Really appreciate you being here.
Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome.
Yeah. Anyone has any questions after listening to the chat today? You have a couple coaches here to answer them. We're going to hang on for a few minutes, get as many people able to fill out the form as possible to get your free month of coaching. It's in the chat box here if you haven't seen it yet. Alexis just posted it again. Thank you, Alexis. So, who's ready to crush their goals this next year? I know I am.
Yes. And let's do it without burning out, without getting caught in that cycle of all or nothing. We can do it in a way that feels good, that's sustainable, that honors our capacity.
Agreed. Totally agreed.
And that's fun. It's important. Samara shared something that inspired me today. She's found a new form of cardio that's been bringing her joy. I think it's important to find joy in our goals, because what good is achieving a goal if it feels miserable in the process?
Yes, I agree. We got to find joy in what we do. Sometimes we don't want to do what we have to do, and that's where discipline comes into play. But when it comes to sustainable habits, we can find joy in it. And remember, guys, when you're in the beginning of your journey, if something's new to you and challenging, it's not going to be enjoyable when it's challenging because you don't feel secure and confident in it. But as you get better and you evolve and you grow and you become more disciplined and you master the skills you need to master for that goal, then that confidence comes through, and that's where the love of what you're doing comes into play there. You, just like me, I told you guys in my call that I hated cardio, and now I love it. And the reason I love it is because I found something that I could improve upon over time, and that confidence. So excited to help you guys do this in the new year. Form is in the chat for anyone who hasn't filled it out.